Well, we come out to St John's. We're talking with David North, who's representing the events that are going on here today. It's 60 years since that aircraft.
60 years it is indeed. It's amazing, really. And all those who perished on that day, when you just think of the little bit of snow we had here this morning, and on that day there was 3 foot of snow up on Winter Hill.
Yeah.
And 24 have gone from the island today to on a day trip to Winter Hill to lay a wreath, including, for the first time since the crash, Norman Ennett, who was a survivor, one of the survivors from the. In fact, he's the last survivor now. So it was a dreadful day. But the Rotary Club of Horwich, actually, we are twinned with them as a result of this accident.
Yeah.
And several of their members managed to, because the roads are impassable to get up to Winter Hill, and several of their members actually got up with the local chemist and the doctor to actually rescue those who survived.
Okay. Well, it's 10 years ago since the plaque was put here, but it wasn't actually here. You've moved it since.
We've moved it, yes. Just it was in a little bit of a wet patch, shall we say. So we've put it on a plinth, so to speak, and it won't get damaged now from the weather.
I mean, just reading that, 35 Manx residents, on that day. It's amazing,
yes. And a lot of the relatives come to this ceremony, and it gives them a lot of peace. Mm-hmm. And of course, it's been going for quite a long time now. This it wasn't from the start here, but this particular spot is a wonderful peaceful, and people come down here and just sit. I think if they're visiting the island and they had relatives that were lost in that accident.
This will go on forever, but do you think? I mean, obviously people are leaving us.
That's a difficult question. Yeah. I mean, Howard Callow, whose father was killed at Winter Hill, organises this, and it's a tremendous tribute to all those who've helped us. I mean, for instance, Leslie Guthrie used to do the service here, and we lost him last year. Yeah. And his widow, Jean, is going to read a piece today. And there's Ian Foles, Rotarian from Douglas Club, who's coming today to do the prayers. And it's really all those have helped. And one of the amazing things is we asked a few years ago if Nigel Kermode would and his wife Nikki would put on a couple of tea and coffee right at Green's, just up on the corner there, and they've provided it complimentary ever since. And I mean, we might get a few more today, but he didn't seem fazed by that he was going to put out in true Manx style hospitality. All right.
But as you start with this whole thing, I mean, on a very cold day, the snow is falling, and life goes on for people, but to remember something like this, getting on a plane and never coming back, it's just unthinkable. Correct. Isn't it?
Correct.
Thomas Adams, John C. Bridson, Norman H. Brown, William R. Kane, Ralph Kane, Thomas A. Callow, Thomas E. Christian, Ernest R. Clegg, Robert H. Corkill, Daniel C. Corlett, William N. Corlett, George W. Corlett, Louis A. Cowan, John D. Crane, James W. Crellin, John J. Crennell, Sergeant Jack Cretney, John W. Farger,
Thomas J. Gilbertson, Arthur L. Gleave, David C. Harding, William A. Harding, Douglas M. Howarth, Leslie S. Neal, G. W. Selwyn Lace, Frank Leese, James H. Lindsay, Victor J. McMahon, William R. Moore, Jack P. Parks, Edward Partington, Charles E. Staley, William A. Tonkin, Thomas A. Watts, Thomas Williams.